Hey up. So, bit of an interesting one this episode, from a director who is relatively well known for one specific film that we've already covered in phase 1 of the Hard Gore collection. This one though, not so well known. So let's see what it's all about. This episode we're taking a look at Don't Mess With My Sister, also known as Family and Honor. This is a 1987 action drama film directed by Meir Zarchi, who is infamous for directing I Spit on Your Grave, and later on its sequel. The film doesn't star too many names. Joe Pierce is our lead, and he had a couple bit parts, one in Abel Ferreira's Miss 45, and one in The Hidden, which has got Kyle MacLachlan in it. But yeah, not a bunch of credits to his name. So I liked I Spit on Your Grave. I think it's a very interesting and historically important sexploitation film. It definitely left its mark in the film industry anyway. Then he did this, and then he took 32 years to direct the terrible sequel to I Spit on Your Grave that he made, called Deja Vu, or I Spit on Your Grave Deja Vu. This one's just sort of in the middle, and you don't really hear many people talking about it. I'd never really heard of it until I was researching the Hard Gore films, and I don't know anything about this. It's Meir Zarchi. It could be good, it could be terrible, I don't know. Let's check it out, shall we?
To come here after school and on weekends, summer times, all the time, sweeping up, counting spark plugs.
The plot follows Stephen, a recent father and accountant at his brother-in-law's junkyard. One birthday, he becomes smitten with a belly dancer and thus begins a room-temperature love affair that ends in murder. This isn't the worst put-together thing we've ever looked at. If anything, it can be quite competent in points. It's just the main plot kind of feels pointless, I guess. The main through line kind of feels pointless. It's not necessarily boring. It didn't feel like it took a very long time to watch this, but you will get to about 40 minutes in, about halfway through, and you'll suddenly start realising that not a lot has actually happened. It's not the worst thing in the world, it just feels kinda stale, I guess. It's only 84 minutes long as well, and as I said, it doesn't overstay its welcome necessarily. It just needed a little more action or a little more something just to really enhance this pretty tame and pretty by-the-book story.
Now come on. Jump.
Hey, thanks.
The acting is fine, I guess. Sometimes it can lean into the iffy, but for like a low budget 80s film that was pretty much done on a shoestring budget, it's not the worst that we've seen. The characters, however, though, none of them are very good, let's say. It got to a point during the film, my partner turns to me and she's like, who should we be rooting for in this? Like, who do we want to succeed? And now I agreed completely. you get to a point and everyone's an arsehole, and you don't really want to see anyone come out on top, so then what's the point in carrying on watching? That's another thing that just sort of adds to this film's aimlessness in a way. There is a plot there, but how can you care when you don't want a specific person to succeed? You don't really care about the outcome then. They could all just blow up and it wouldn't matter. The gore is very minimal. There's like a few fist fights here and there, and that's about your lot. Same for the sleaze as well, which is surprising. The camera will linger on the belly dancer a little bit, but it's quite modest, all things considered. And that's bizarre because this is a Meir Zarchi film. The guy did one film before this, and it was one of the most notorious sexploitation films of its era that made massive, massive news and was like controversial and everybody knew its name. And then this is his follow-up. This daytime TV soap opera bullshit that just doesn't really have any sort of edge to it whatsoever. It's bizarre that this is what followed this. It makes no sense really. Because that's another thing, most of this film really sort of just takes place in the junkyard or in the apartment, and it's just a lot of arguing and a lot of drama. And the sort of love affair angle as well just sort of feels super cliche, and it almost feels like it's leaning into parody sometimes. And it reminded me of that bit in season 2 of Twin Peaks where James goes wandering and ends up embroiled in some sort of like love triangle with murder involved, which is notoriously disliked by most Twin Peaks fans. I kind of have a soft spot for it because you've still got an Angelo Badalamenti score and you can still cut away to Cooper doing something. But that's just me talking Twin Peaks. I could talk for that for ages. But it feels that sort of level of cheesy daytime TV like. And it's weird. It's weird that this is the same guy that did I Spit on Your Grave. But this is the thing, I guess. It's competently put together. The editing's pretty good. The sets work. The lighting's nice. The sound is good. It all sort of works. And I think maybe I Spit on Your Grave not being like that and being a little choppy, a little rough, a little found footagey in a way, I guess, just because it's sort of shaky and it looks like something you shouldn't be watching, and that works in that film's favour because it's got quite harsh subject matter. Whereas this is pretty by the books, you know, it's not badly made, it's just competently made. And you add that with this pretty tame, mediocre story, and while it's not the worst thing you'll ever see, it's just sort of nothing, I guess. It's just sort of forgettable fluff.
Gina, so glad you came.
Well, where's my son? I want to see my son.
You know, a man can go to sleep with a woman he don't even know her name. It's quick, like spitting.
So as you can see, I bought a couple copies of this film, and that is because it kept popping up whenever I was looking up Hard Gore. It was in lists, it was just always there as like this looming presence, and with all the stuff that had gone on with the other releases on Hard Gore, I was like, well, what if this is the one though? What if this is that one that just happened to have a little Hard Gore run as well? So I bought a couple copies. Now I don't need this many copies. To be honest, I've seen it now. I don't really need any copies. So go down to Sheffield CEX and pick up a copy soon because these will be available there because I ain't keeping hold of these. Any other information on this film? There's a little bit here and there. It's this sort of standard fare for low budget films though. It was quite a small budget. I mean, I say that, but it's relatively big for a low budget film. It was 500,000, which is quite a bit, honestly, isn't it? Apparently a lot of the interiors were shot in Meir Zarchi's Manhattan flat, which was quite cramped. Apparently it was hard to film in, but you know what? I think they made it work pretty well. It didn't seem too cramped while they were shooting in there. Sometimes you can tell that in a film with like weird angles and stuff, but it seemed pretty good. Apparently Pierce got smacked in the head with a fire extinguisher during the junkyard fight scene and had to take a couple days off work, so he got a bit of injury there. It was a 37-day shoot and it didn't come out for 5 years after wrapping, which I don't really know why, to be honest. There's no information as to why there was the delay. But yeah, it's just your standard sort of fare, really, isn't it? Someone getting hurt because the health and safety is not up to scratch, things being a little cramped and a little rushed because budget's tight. It's what you'd expect. But now I've seen all 3 of Meir Zarchi's directorial efforts, so I think now might be a good time to maybe rank them for you. So down at the bottom is still I Spit on Your Grave Deja Vu. From what I recall, it's a very long and very boring and very annoying film. It was a while since I watched it, but I remember hating it, so that can go down at the bottom. Then you've got this one just sort of sitting in the middle. It's decent, it's kind of forgettable. I'm probably not going to remember it in a few weeks, but it wasn't a horrible experience watching it. And then it's got to be I Spit on Your Grave right at the top. It's got to be. It's historically interesting, and also it's relatively well put together and effective. So yeah, there you go. It looks like it got worse as he went along, really, doesn't it? Yeah, let's move on then.
What the hell was that for?
We all gone crazy, brother-in-law. We suddenly all got nuts.
Okay, it's time for the Gorometer. Let's crack this out and see how hardcore this release actually is. So, number 1, any branding on the outside of the case? Nothing. Number 2, any branding on the inside of the case? Nothing again. Number 3, any branding on the disc physically and digitally? Nope, nothing there either. Number 4, is it hard, is it gore? This is a tricky one, but I'm gonna say no. I don't really think that it fits with the other hardcore films, honestly. It's a little tame. The gore is very, very low. It's very much a family drama. While it's not, it's maybe a little too competently put together and not as boring as some of the worst things that we've seen in the hardcore collection, I don't think it'd fit, so I'm not giving it a point for that. And lastly, any other evidence. Now, I purposefully went out and got this double pack. It's alright, knock them all off, I don't want them. So I purposely went out and got this double pack. Because again, I have this like little voice in the back of my head just saying, yeah, but what if the double pack's hardcore branded? So I sourced a double pack, and it's not, no. So everything that I've found about this just has this standard Screen Entertainment release. It's the same disc with all 3 of these releases. It's exactly the same. And apparently I Spit on Your Grave was also released just Screen Entertainment. There was a release floating around that was just Screen Entertainment without all the hardcore branding, and that's the same I Spit on Your Grave that's in this. So yeah, this is definitely not hardcore. This doesn't mention hardcore anywhere on it. So as far as I am aware, there has been no hardcore branding on Don't Mess With My Sister at all. So no evidence, so no point there. So we're ending the Gorometer with a 0 out of 5, which is definitely not hardcore. And I can kind of see it. It's weird. I expected it maybe to be a little more hardcore feeling because it's a Meir Zarchi film, but it doesn't feel anything like I Spit on Your Grave. If I didn't know that this was a Meir Zarchi film going into it, I would never have guessed. Never have guessed. So it'd be interesting to know what you guys think as well. Do you think I was right with that? Do you want this double pack? Because if you do, it'll be available soon. Yeah, let's move on, shall we?
So's your fucking tongue.
Okay, let's take a look at this print then, shall we? It's actually pretty good, you know. It's in full 16:9, it's not converted over or anything like that. The image is crisp and clear, the sound is really good. It's honestly one of the best prints I think that we've had in quite a while. It's really decent. And then on the disc we get chapter select, we get trailers, and we get a 6.5 minute long outtakes and deleted scenes thing, and then we get 40 seconds of a video, which is just it's an image gallery, but it's a video, and it's just cycling through different releases from different countries of Don't Mess With My Sister. I mean, we get more special features. That definitely seems to be some sort of running theme for this phase 2. We've been getting plenty of special features, and while there's not loads on this disc, there's still some, which is more than can be said for most of the films in phase 1 of the Hard Gore collection. Okay, and let's move on to the case then. The cover, it's not bad at all really. I do quite like this artwork. It definitely has that sort of cheap 80s action film look. And yeah, I think that works, honestly. Not sure why they needed this little image in the top corner though. Seems a little redundant, but oh well. The back of the case, now. This looks a little off, I think. The blurry, silly face in the background with the beige tint just seems strange to me. I don't know, there's something off about it, and it doesn't really fit with the film either. The font looks cheap too, it's a little oddly placed, but the write-up's fine. It's brief, but the information all seems correct. It's definitely not the worst, just, I don't know, the front definitely looks better than the back with this. Overall then, I'm sort of down the middle with this one, honestly. It's well put together, it's competently made, it's not the most boring thing we've ever watched, and it's quite short, it doesn't overstay its welcome. Its main issue lies in its story and its characters, which are a little done, you know. We've seen this before, it's a little cliche, and it's very tame. The fact that this is a Meir Zarchi film kind of baffles me a little bit. The same guy that did I Spit on Your Grave made this, which is just kind of by the books, kind of bland. It's bizarre, it's bizarre. I can't outwardly recommend this. I would say that if you're a fan of Zarchi's work or interested in what else he made, maybe check this one out, but I don't know if you're really going to get too much from it. It's not the worst thing in the world, just, as I say, a little bland. If you are in the market, the print on this is nice, there's a few special features, it's not too bad. Although if you are wanting to buy one, it looks like it's getting a little rare. I mean, I am cornering the market here with all these copies. As I said, these will be available in CEX soon. But also, it's just on YouTube for free. So if you are going to buy it, don't spend much. And if you're curious but don't want to spend money on it, I completely understand. It's all just on YouTube, so check it out there. So yeah, not the best, not the worst, just sort of bland. But weirdly, because of the crap we've been watching in phase 2, this is probably one of the better films that I've watched. Weird. So, next episode, we're heading back to Japan for another J horror. Another one that I'd never heard of before, but I really do like the cover on this one, so I've been a bit excited to watch this one. Next episode, we're going to be checking out The Manual.